Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica Flynn and I am the owner and maker of Flynn Sisters Boutique. And I'm sure many of you have been wondering where I've been for the past couple weeks. And I have been recovering from some really debilitating vertigo. So I was diagnosed with BPPV. It's a type of vertigo, and I had the crystals in my ear that were stuck in my ear canal. Anyhow, with some help with my doctors and my chiropractor, I was finally able to get through that. And while I'm still recovering and I do tire easily, I am really itching to get back into my shop. I've missed you guys. I've missed creating. This is certainly my #1 passion, and I'm just excited to be back. So for my first video back, I wanted to create something that really fired me up creatively. And one of my nieces has been really wanting a cup from me. And she said all she really wanted was rainbow and leopard print. Say less, sis. I know exactly what I want to do. Those are my two favorite things. So I'm really excited to bring this design to you guys today. I'm going to have all the products that you see in this video listed and linked down below in the description box. You might even find some discount codes for you there as well. So that's enough chit chat for me. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so as usual, I'm starting with a fully prepped and sanded cup that I've already spray painted with a flat white spray paint, and that's already dry, so we're going to start mapping out our colors. Think of like a rainbow swirl, but a deconstructed swirl, so kind of more random spurts of color. I'm doing really quick, short bursts of spray paint here from a good 12-inch distance from my cup. If we want a smaller, more refined colored section, we would just move the spray paint closer to our cup, but still do really quick, short burst of spray. Otherwise, we're going to get drips, and we do not want that. Also, I've shaken up all of my spray paint colors for 60 seconds each. It's really important with these really bright fluorescent spray paints that we really shake them for a minimum of 60 seconds. I will have all these spray paint colors listed in the description box in case you missed them through the video. If you wanted to sponge paint with like a chalk paint or something instead of using the spray paint, you certainly could do that in a similar pattern, just using maybe like a natural sponge or something and letting kind of each color dry a bit before you move on to the next color so things don't get muddied up. But really what I'm trying to do here is kind of map out where I want my colors. And this will be really helpful later on when we go to apply our glitter. All right, and then as soon as our paint was dry, I was ready to apply my glitter. I'm using UV resin to apply my glitter today. You guys can see how much I kind of just drizzled onto the cup there. That actually was a little too much. You don't really need that much, but we're gonna pack on the glitter today. So I guess having a little bit more resin than you normally need would be a good thing. All right, and I know what you guys are thinking, UV resin, what the heck? Guys, so sorry to interrupt the video, but I just wanted to tell you how excited I was to discover this technique. So I saw this in Myra's video from Myra Makes It, and I was like, I have to try that immediately. What a killer idea, and it truly has been a game changer. I don't think I have been this excited about a Tumbler idea until I saw using UV resin to apply the glitter. And I'm telling you guys, like, this works like an absolute dream. The adhesion is great. The dry time is great. You're using such a little amount. So yes, I know you can balk at like the price, but you're using such a small amount, similar to what you would use, if not less, with regular epoxy resin. So I'm super excited about this. This saved me a lot of time this week, and I hope you guys like it. All the credit goes to Myra and her video that she did last week where I initially saw this. So thank you, Myra, for the great tip. I hope you guys love it. This is a 12-ounce skinny straight tumbler that I'm using from Craft Haven, and I would say that we use less than 3 milliliters of the UV resin, so really doesn't take much at all. We want to make sure this is nice and smooth. All right, and then we're ready to start applying glitter. As usual, I'm going to start by mapping out my colors with really light coverage. This is Mariah. It's actual little butterflies, holographic butterflies that I thought was so cute. I thought these would be fun little Easter eggs for her to find in the design. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little of these on. You're going to notice that through each of the color sections, I start with a chunky glitter and then kind of blend it out with a finer glitter. For this pink section, I'm going to use Hosea or Hosea. I don't know. I will list them down below in the description box. And again, just really light coverage. And then I'm also going to go into the pink sections with Lisa Frank, which is a slightly larger cut, a beautiful holographic like fuchsia pink. This is such an underrated color. Lisa Frank is definitely in the top 20 for my favorite peachy olive glitter colors. It's just the perfect size, tons of sparkle, and a beautiful color. Moving on to the orange sections, again, I'm starting with a chunkier glitter first with just really minimal coverage. I want all the color sections to blend together, kind of like a color melt. Okay, so all the colors are going to kind of melt in together, not really a swirl, not really a calico, not really patchwork, but all just kind of blended in a melt. It's the best word I could think of for this. Next, over that chunky orange, which I used Myers for that, we're going in with Starburst, which is the most perfect orange for this kind of aesthetic. It's really bright. It could be neon, it could be pastel, but it's a larger cut. So again, you're going to get lots of sparkle. Moving into these teal sections, I'm using Absolem. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of all of these names, but I'm sorry. So more butterflies with this one, just really kind of adding into the depth and the whimsy and the fun of this design. You guys, I know if you're anything like me, you have a ton of glitter, and doing designs like this are a perfect opportunity for you to pull out some of your favorite colors and just kind of paint with them and have fun with them and open up your box to all the colors in your collection. I'm going to add to some of those chunky teal sections with Head Over Teals. This has some beautiful holographic teal pieces in it. It's a nice chunky one. Then for the green, I'm moving in with Oscar, and you guys can still see that I'm doing very light to minimal coverage here. We're just sort of doing a rough draft for our layout. Here for the green sections, I'm using Kermit Wazowski, also from Peachy Olive Glitters. This is one of my favorite green glitters. Then we'll go in with Good Vibes to kind of blend like the teal to the purple sections. All right, and then for the yellow, keeping it simple. I didn't pick a chunky for the yellow just because there was a good amount of yellow sections and I wanted that to kind of just be a blender between the orange and the green section. So I'm using Lemonheads for that. For the chunky in my purple sections, I'm using Lady Lavender, an absolutely gorgeous holographic purple chunky mix. And then to blend it out, we'll be using Berry Bomb, which is a finer cut holographic purple. Now I'm at a place where I've got most of my colors mapped out how I want. So I'm going to start building the coverage with the finer cuts that I've selected for each color section. And I'm just going to build up coverage and continue to blend. After I've applied all my colors and I'm happy with my blend, I'm going to let it rip with Glow Stick all over my cup. I really love the sparkle and the color flash of Glow Stick, and I want to use that to fill in any kind of gaps I might have, and this is just going to set that sparkle off to a whole nother level. Next, we'll do an aggressive tap to tap off all the excess, and now we're ready to put it in its little tanning bed to dry. I've got my 168 watt nail lamp here. This is my favorite UV lamp. It means absolute business, and it's going to get this UV resin cured fast. I'm going to do a couple 120-second cycles while holding it in my hand. If you want to put this on a cup turner and then kind of rig your light over the cup on the cup turner, that works well too. I just kept my cup under the light rotating for a solid 6 minutes. You'll know that your glitter is dry because you can press firmly on it and it's not going to move around and you won't feel any kind of tackiness. Here's kind of how I set mine up. All right, and then the thing I love most about that technique is we're ready for our first coat of epoxy already. So I have prepped, painted, glittered, and put my first coat of epoxy on all within the hour. That is amazing for time, especially if you're someone like me who's having to create a lot of content within the week and I'm short on time. All right, so I've got 30 milliliters of Alumilite's Amazing Quick Coat. This is a fast setting epoxy. And I'm just going to epoxy this like normal. I did not seal my glitter beforehand because of the nature of this design. It's okay if some of my glitter moves around. I did tap off the excess really well, so we shouldn't have any glitter moving around. The UV resin really does adhere that glitter well. I would dare to say almost as well as regular epoxy method, which I'm a total snob about. So to find a really quick alternative to epoxy method, this is fabulous. I'm going to let this epoxy coat dry for about 4 hours before I move on to the next step. Remember that your epoxy dry times may vary based on the brand and type of epoxy that you're using. After this coat was dry, I went ahead and did another coat with 20 milliliters of epoxy right over that. I let that coat dry for about 3 to 4 hours. Again, a fast setting epoxy, and then I went right in for a third coat directly after that. This is a lot of glitter, so it's going to require quite a bit of coats before we can mess around with it and put on our decals. So now that my cup is epoxied, it's nice and smooth. Again, we've got 3 layers of epoxy over that glitter. I'm ready to start on my sanding routine. Same routine as normal. So we're just going to sand the rim down. We're going to expose a fine line of stainless steel. You can kind of see in the video here just how far down we went. This is a 60 grit sanding block. If you guys need some help with sanding, I will link a video down below that will go really into detail about how I like to do my sanding. Don't forget your bottom rim. We want to get that nice and smooth before we move on to our decals and final coats. After I'm done sanding, I'm just going to spray this down with some rubbing alcohol, clean it up with a paper towel. If you've done a lot of sanding, you may want to consider washing it off at the sink with some dish soap and water, just to ensure that we really get all of that debris from our sanding off of the cup. Now that my cup is all sanded, cleaned up, and smooth and ready to go, we're going to apply our decals. I already cut and weeded all my vinyl. For the name, I used September font, and I cut it out of this rainbow holographic vinyl from the Vinyl Cottage shop. I will link it down below. And we're gonna layer it over a high sparkle gloss finish white vinyl instead of just plain white. This glitter vinyl has a glossy finish, so it won't lose its sparkle or bleed under epoxy, but it is very thick, okay? So if you use this stuff, you wanna cut it on the textured vinyl, it's like the textured metallic vinyl option in Cricut Design Space. All right, and then using the hinge method, I'm going to use one end of my transfer tape to anchor one side of my decal to the cup while I remove the paper backing from the other end. Press down firmly, and then we'll remove our transfer tape as close to the cup as possible while we peel back to avoid anything bubbling up. For my leopard print, I used that same rainbow holographic for the center rosettes, and then the same sparkly white for the spots around our rosettes. The print I'm using is from Bear Trends, and I've sized it at 6 by 6 for this 12-ounce cup. So I'm going to place the little rosettes first by hand, only because I just felt like doing it that way. I suppose it would have been easier to layer the white spots over the rainbow spots and transfer them all at once, but I kind of was picky about the placement on the colors and where they were at on the cup. So that's why I'm doing it this way. All right, and so after I've placed all my rainbow holographic rosettes, I'm also going to hand place the white spots right over the top of those. In hindsight, I kind of wish I would have done like a dark purple holographic or something for the white spots instead, but whatever, I still think it's cute. All right, so once we're done with all that vinyl work, I'm finally ready for my final coats. So I'm using Alumilite's Amazing Clear Cast Plus for my final coat because it's going to have amazing UV protection and keep all of these colors bright for a very long time. The downside to this epoxy is it does have a very long dry time, so I'm gonna let this dry for a full 24 hours before I mess around with it. But that's it for this tutorial. It's so great to be back. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and if you like my video, please be sure to give us a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I upload new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, but please be patient as I make my way back from being sick. I might just only be able to pump out one video per week instead of 2 for a while, as I regain my strength and energy levels. So thank you guys so much for all of your love and support. Thank you for watching my video. We'll see you soon. And a big thank you to all of our Flynn Sisters exclusive members. Thank you for your pledge. Your support means the world to our channel. If you love this video, you could check out our last video here. Also be sure to find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course subscribe for all our new videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.